In this video, I'm going to be talking about how often when we experience some activation in our nervous system, especially the unpleasant sensations, things that we might not want to be experiencing, we often default to looking to manage those symptoms instead of meeting ourselves and meeting the symptoms and our bodies where they are at. The symptoms aren't often a sign that there's something there to fix. It's just more that the nervous system is sending you these signals and they would like to be heard and not managed through a wide range of different modalities and tools. So as this is a trauma-informed video, I want to invite you to remember that if you need to take a break at any time and pause this video, go ahead and do so. Often when I'm talking about trauma and related topics, we can feel some activation in the system, and it's important to titrate your learning and to listen to how you're feeling and to build capacity to educate yourselves around these topics slowly and safely. So you can always pause the video and come back at another time when you are feeling more resourced and ready. So with that being said, I saw this post on Instagram which inspired me, which now for the life of me I can't remember what it said, but it was something about how, before you try breath work, before you try EFT tapping, before you try somatic exercises, can you just try to be present with yourself? And this is really at the foundation of the trauma healing work, and not jumping to use a modality to stop what it is that you are feeling. Can you build your tolerance for discomfort and check in with yourself about the fundamentals of am I safe in this space even though I'm having these sensations? Because what I'm talking about isn't necessarily that something dangerous is happening to you in the moment. Often when we are recovering from trauma and the body is been in a dysregulated and a survival state for a long time, we can experience unpleasant sensations in the body and emotions and irritations and symptoms just in day-to-day life. We can have a release of stored stress energy, and this can manifest in an unmeasurable amount of ways. So there's not necessarily that something dangerous is happening to us in our environment at that moment, but instead of us defaulting to how can I stop this, I don't like it, how can I fix what it is that I'm feeling, can you meet yourself where you are at with that feeling? Can you allow yourself to feel it? As they say, to feel it, in order to feel it, in order to heal it, you have to feel it. I sometimes that's not always true, but I think it is often, like a useful phrase. Often it is. There is a lot of occasions where we would benefit from allowing ourselves to feel what it is that needs to be felt. Not all the time, but also when we have the support, the resources, the safety, the capacity, and the co-regulation available to us in order to be able to feel our feelings and feel the symptoms and the sensations safely. So let me just check in with my notes here. So yeah, symptoms are communication where the body is sending us these sensations, these messages, we're having these reactions, and they are messages from the body. It's expressing something that wants your attention. Wants your attention as it is. The body is showing you, is trying to communicate with you that it's got this that would like to be felt. And if we just immediately jump to fixing it instead of being present with it, then we can be bypassing the deeper work that is necessary for healing. So when we're jumping to fix things and using regulation tools, it's another way that we are trying to control our nervous system, that we're trying to control ourselves. And sometimes that control it's suppression. We're actively trying to suppress what it is that wants to be felt. And so that using the tools can actually cause us to become more avoidant and more scared and feel more unsafe, because we feel like we cannot be present and we cannot feel our feelings without trying to stop them, which sends a message to our nervous system that it isn't safe to feel our feelings. So you see here that it's kind of intertwined and interlinked, and we do have to work on those foundational principles, which I talk about in the Trauma-Informed Foundations playlist. All of these different things around cultivating safety, resourcing, orienting, grounding. Having those things in place aren't the same as doing breathing techniques, as doing EFT tapping, as doing somatic exercises or meditations where we're trying to bypass what it is that we are feeling. So often we don't actually need a modality. And to be honest, in my work with my clients, I always, when something comes up for a client, I always see how possible it is for them to tolerate comfortably, safely what they can before we do any modalities around it. The go-to is put your hands on your body where you feel like you need some support. Connect with your environment and see if it's possible for you to allow yourself to feel those feelings. This is always the go-to, this is always the foundation, and then I check in with clients to see how that feels. We check in, okay, what is it that you're feeling, and we move on to having conversations about those sensations and how they are moving and integrating and progressing through the nervous system and through the body and what that feels like. And when we do that, that presence, being present with ourselves, helps to cultivate that safety. Now, again, that's when I'm with a client, they have that support system in place. Perhaps it's not all, if you've not done this kind of work with a professional before, then maybe you don't have all the tools in the beginning to do that. But it takes practice, and it takes support, and it takes building that trust with yourself and reconnecting with yourself. So this also involves us doing this work with care, with the objective of we're taking care of ourselves, and also that we are meeting ourselves and our body with compassion. So compassion being that we are just giving ourselves this unconditional compassion for what it is that we're feeling, for what emotions are present, for what maybe thoughts are accompanied with these sensations that are moving through us, and allowing them to be there with care and compassion is so incredibly healing, is at the root of the healing work. So perhaps the next time that if you experience some unpleasant sensations or emotions, perhaps you can allow yourself 10 seconds to be present with what is, and then gradually build on that before going to your go-to modality to support and help regulate you. And of course I'm not saying at all that there isn't a time and a space for us to use the modalities. There absolutely is. It's just, can we also be present with what is, because that is the deeper work, as well as cultivating those foundations from the beginning. So if this video has resonated with you, if you found it helpful or insightful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel, or share it with somebody that you think might benefit from hearing this message. If you've got any thoughts, comments or concerns, please pop them in or questions, please pop them in the comments box. I'd love to hear from you. My name is Donna Louise, and I am a trauma-trained somatic practitioner, a functional breathwork coach, a clinical EFT practitioner, and also a trainee counsellor. And I help people to get out of survival mode, to restore their nervous system, and to reconnect with themselves again. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.